20 people already watching.
The Mohawks are coached by Jake Sorensen and assistant by
Starting lineup about to come out for the Saints here.
And now, the starting lineup for your Dubuque Saints. At defense from Waller High School, number 21, Anders Hill.
Starting at defense from Waller High School, a freshman, number 21, Anders Hill.
High School, number 17,
His partner will be an assistant captain from Dubuque Senior, number 17, Ben Zick.
Senior High School, number 22, Cade Weiner.
Starting at wing will be number 22, Captain Cade Weiner, junior from Dubuque Senior.
Number 14, Jensen Hill.
The other wing will be Anders' big brother, a senior from Dubuque Waller, number 14, Jensen Hill.
Number 13, Sammy
Man in the middle will be your captain, number 13, a senior from Dubuque Hempstead, Sammy Ruiz.
High School, number 1, Andy Shell.
And the man between the pipes, number 1, from Sumner High School, junior, Andy Shell.
Andrade, Ethan Fox, and Martin Fillion. And now we ask that you please rise and honor our nation's flag with our national anthem.
Song has been sung. It's time to play hockey. See a couple comments in the chat already. Welcome to the broadcast, former coach Brian Plunkett. Clearly one of the top 20 coaches in Dubuque High School hockey history. Just kidding. Brian's one of my favorite coaches of all time. And Kendra Kaiser. Welcome to the broadcast, along with 29 other people. Saints dropped the varsity contest last night in Cedar Rapids. JV was victorious on a last-minute goal. Saints have already secured their spot at varsity for the varsity year-end tournament. Yes, can't forget Kathy Fugger, by far one of my favorite fans. Bucks down and we're underway. Played all the way back to Shell. He'll blade it off to Zick around the back of the boards. Anders Hill will carry it up. Sends it up to Jensen. Sends it into the zone. Cade Weiner out. Backhander just wide of Jacob Barr. I assume that's Jacob Barr. Chipped into the zone. Sammy Ruiz back to get it. He'll send it back behind the net. Kicks out to the near side. Weiner there. Plays it back. Now a long pass out to Jensen. He'll chip it in the zone. Barr will cover for a whistle. We'll get the Midwest line out of Henkels, Heacock, and Sheehy. Liam Henry and Landon Schultz back on defense. Sheehy to the dot. Puck down. Henkels, shot blocked by Heacock, who looks like he's slow to get up. Mason City will dump it in on Andy Shell. Kicks it to the corner. Heacock doesn't head to the bench. He's blue-collar tough. Sent to the far side. Henkel pulls it off there. Sends it out of the zone. Both Henkel and Heacock force it into the zone. Now cycled back into the skates. The Mohawks have it. They'll center it. Knocked away by Sheehy temporarily. They recover. Backhanded into the zone. Off the end wall. Shell tees it up there for Liam Henry. Wrapped around to Jackson Heacock. Pulls it off the boards. Back to the defensive zone now. Sent all the way into the zone. Gets by Liam Henry. Jackson Henry on the board, or Jackson Heacock on the boards. Plays it out. Fired back up behind the net. Now it's Schultz. Hard off the boards. Gets it ahead to Heacock. Mason City Cervantes takes it away. Carries it into the zone. Shot. Saved by Shell. Rebound kicked wide of the net. Comes to the near corner. Down he goes. Jackson Heacock sends it out. Bouncing puck. Heads towards Barr's net. No icing. Barr blades it off to the side, and Tyler Randall out the forecheck. Michael pulls. Forces them to cycle back behind the net. Off to the far side. Knocked loose at center ice, and the Mohawks will advance it into the attacking zone. All the way down to the corner it goes. Down the net. Schwartz plays it around the boards. Pulls, tries to chip it out. It's knocked back in by the Mohawks. Cervantes back to get it on the end wall. Knocked away by Randall. Zick gets it ahead to Pulls. Pulls speeds Eli Schwartz, carries it into the zone. Quentin Peterson wheels it away for Mason City. Tested by Michael Pulls the whole way down the ice. Back behind the net. Mohawks have it. Send it out in front. Nobody home. Back to the blue line. Now dumped in. Kicks out to the near boards. Played back to the end wall. Chipped loose before it got to the middle by Sammy Ruiz. Fired back down the boards. It's a battle for there by Michael Pulls. Now sent across the ice. Mohawks sustaining a little pressure here in their own zone. Nice save by Andy Shell. Sent the length of the ice. No icing. Barr will stop it behind the net. Sammy Ruiz chases him all the way down. It's played to the corner. Weiner's got it there. Pulls it off his stick. Now sent out to center ice. Back to Henry. He'll dump it in. Just wide of the net. Jensen Hill on the forecheck. Mason City clears it out. 2-on-2 the other way. Dump back behind the net. Carried back now into the far corner. Jensen Hill sends it back behind the net. Liam Henry chases it down. Mason City, first one there, wheels it off the goal line. Blocked by the defender. Centering pass. Goes to the far corner. Schultz battles for it there. Picked up by Jensen. Hits the brakes and then will reverse course. Plays it up to Landon Schultz. Chips it off the boards. Mason City dumps it back in. Schultz over to get it up the near boards now. That's Liam Henry, not Schultz. He'll send it over to Schultz. Gets it to Heacock. Leaves it off for Schultz. Schultz forces it into the zone. Cade Weiner chases it down. Thomas Bedlin puts him into the end wall. Wrapped around to the far side. Sheehy will stop it before it gets out. Chips it back down to Henkel. Henkel battles forward in the corner. Spins away from a check. Knocks it loose. Back up the wall. Now it's Heacock. Dumps it back in. Comes to the near side. Sheehy drops it between his legs. Nobody there. The Mohawks will carry it out. Shell stops it behind the net. Leaves it there for Anders Hill. Wraps around the boards. Henkel chips it back to the blue line. Shot saved by Shell. Heacock pulls it off the near boards. Gets it out to neutral ice. Back to the Lane Hansen on defense. Played into the slot. Hansen tries to clear it out. Sheehy can't glove it down. Stopped there by Anders Hill. It's Anders now. Up the far side in front of the scorer's table. Dumps it on net. Barr blades it off to the corner. Battle for behind the net. Heacock battles for it there. Eccles is going to go for a change. I'm not sure what the call is there. Mason City player stiffed arm Jackson, and Jackson went down on the trip. Jackson's in a little bit of disbelief. So we'll go on the penalty kill. Get Jensen Hill and Cade Weiner out to kill the penalty. Landon Schultz back on defense. Puck's down. Controlled by the Saints. Foul 4 in the corner. The Mohawks force it away. Now Jensen Hill comes back, helps out Schultz. It's all tied up there. Mohawks walk the goal line, send it out in front. Shell with the save.
Which puts us on a doghouse and daily grind power play. Penalty kill. Remember that, everybody.
Puck's down. Mason City controls out to the center ice. They'll go D to D. Now tries to send it back in. Jensen Hill knocks it away temporarily. Mohawks regain it and drive it into the zone. Wrapped around behind the net. Off to the far side. Mohawks can't hold it in. They'll dump it back in. Schultz has all the time in the world to send it the length of the ice. Glove down at the blue line by the defense. And they'll play it back up into the attacking zone. Gets the breaks at the top of the circle. Wheels and backhands it back behind the net. Wrapped around to the near side. Oh, he took a swing and missed. Now sent. Shell with the save. Holds on for a whistle. It's a final in Cedar Rapids. The Metros have beaten the Riders 3-1. Waterloo and Quad Cities show 4-1 in favor of the Warriors. Puck loose. Alex Henkel chases it down. A little bit of a breakaway. He's getting chased the whole way. He's got Sheehy in the middle. Shot. Saved by Barr. Holds on. How much time's left in that Quad City game? There's just no telling. Sheehy and Henkel out on the kill. Still a minute left. They're backed by Zick and Anders Hill. Henkel fires it on net. Mason City controls it in the corner. They'll play it back behind the net. Slowly meandering down the ice. Get it off to Hindermeister. Knocked away by Ben Zick. Now Sheehy carries in his zone. 1-on-3. And it's a ducker on one. Eats it in the corner. No trip there, huh? All right. Mohawks working out to the far side. Cade Weiner knocks it back in. Backhand into the zone. Caught Shell off guard. He was going to backhand it and then had to make a nice leg save. Weiner's got it. Forces out the center ice. He's got Jensen Hill with him. Sent on net. Saved by Barr. Holds on for a whistle. 9:38 left in the first period. Shots on goal favor the Mohawks. 5-4. Puck's down.
Saints.
Lane Hansen has him behind the net.
Strength.
Jackson Heacock out of the box.
Killed.
Mohawks now working up the ice. Out to center ice. Quentin Peterson works it into the zone. 1-on-5. It's poked loose. Knocked back to center ice. Lane Hansen back to get it. Laid up ahead. Salmon Ruiz behind his own net. He'll jump out the near side. Tries to play it ahead to Weiner. It's taken away by Quentin Peterson. He'll walk it all the way down. Turns it over in the slot. Battles forward in the corner. Wrapped around to the near side now. Mason City plays it back. Webb Rose shot is fired wide. Knocked back in by Peterson. Back behind the net. Liam Henry back to get it. He'll work it out of the corner. It's the breaks behind the net. Looks for an outlet. Hard off the boards. Gets it up to Cade Weiner. Weiner chips it ahead to Salmon Ruiz. Ruiz carries it into the zone. Top of the circle. Works it to the slot. Shot. Tipped in front. Weiner battles for it behind the net. Wrapped around to the far side. Ruiz will race to get it. Knocks it down. Mason City has it temporarily. Clears it out. Dumped in by Andershill. Now chipped up by Cade Weiner. He'll go for a change. Mason City, long stretch pass. Tipped on the right side of the red. Zick back to get it. Retreats behind his own net. Hits the brakes there. Reverses field. Does a nice little ice dancing move. Hashtag Olympics. Andershill dumps it in. Short of the red line. 2 more strides. Anders, you can do it. We get Tyler Randall in for the face-off to the left of Shell. Puck's down. Andershill plays it hard off the glass. Ice. Michael Poles just 2 steps too short. 2 Michael Poles steps. Ran into the draw, wins it back. Anders will try it off the boards again. This time it's stopped by Peterson at center ice. Spins it out. Chip back in. Andershill goes back to get along the boards. He'll play it up to Schwartz. Schwartz now long cross ice pass. Hits Poles in stride. Gets it ahead to Randall just before he goes offside. That's a slash. Take 2 minutes and think about what you've done. So the power play jumps out of Weiner, Ruiz, Hill, Sheehy, and Henkel. Justin Bieber heads to the box. Sammy Ruiz to the dot for the faceoff. Puck's down. Mason City wins it. They'll send it around the far side. Henkel can't quite get there in time. Sent the length of the ice.
Penalty on number
Shell will cover it there.
Brady Bieber for slashing and for real this time. That puts us on a Mohawks and daily grind power play.
Face off to the left of Shell. Looks down. Jensen Hill has it. Takes it back behind the net to set up. He'll leave it there for Sheehy. Sheehy now does the YMCA. Carries it out the near side. He'll advance it up the ice. Into the attacking zone. Drops it off there for Jensen. A little hot to handle there. Back to the blue line. Sammy Ruiz walks it over to the bench side. Everyone tags up. Let's go at it again. Gets it up to Jensen Hill. Jensen carries it in. Drives wide of the net. All the way down the goal line. Shot. Saved by Barr. Ruiz back to the dot. Pucks it down. On the boards. Ruiz gets it back to Sheehy. Sheehy tries to send it down. One on the goal line shot. Directly into Barr. Barr's, he's got to be 6'2", 180 pounds. He takes up a lot of space. Maybe we try something other than firing it directly into his chest. Puck down. Weiner drops it back for Sheehy. Sheehy sends it over to Henkel. Henkel from the top of the dots. Sends it back to Sammy, who can't quite hold it in. Sammy all the way back to his own defensive zone. We'll try and work it up the far side. Henkel gets it now. Spins around one. Turns it over on the goal line. He's pinned up against the wall. Jensen comes in to help out. Now it's worked loose. Weiner gets it back to Sheehy. Sheehy spins on the board. Back to Sammy. Sends it to the far side. Weiner's over there now. Gets it to Henkel. Face up dot. Cross ice pass. Oh, it hit something in front. Work back down low. Sheehy gets it back to Hill. Hill back behind the net. Works to the tops of the circles, all the way down to the high slot. Sends it back over to Henkel on the far side. Back behind the net, nobody home there. Medlin will eat a little time. 4 seconds left. Taken away by Weiner. Now sent the link of the ice. Shell stops it there. Quick turn for Schultz. Schultz is 1 on 5. These are terrible odds. Still fighting like a champ. Sends it back behind the net. Got the number 2 power play out there, even though the power play's expired. Sent up the far side. Michael Poles battles for it. Centering pass is tipped high. Kicks over to the near corner. Cervantes battles for it there. Now Poles has it. Gets it ahead to Jackson Heacock. Heacock works it in. Poke loose there. Mason City has it. Clears it out to center ice. Sent into the zone. Shorts back to get it. Schultz back to get it. One of those two. Heacock sends it up the boards. Forces it out to center ice. Knocked away by Liam Henry. Now they catch Jackson Heacock from behind again. Sends it up to Eli. Eli works the blue line. Half step early, Michael Poles. 4:13 to go in the first period. Shots on goal. Tied at 6. Looks down. Mason City has it. Quentin Peterson spins it up to Ben Zick. Zick dumps it back in the zone. It's on the near boards. Medlin tries to play it out. Long pass. It's going to be wide of the nets. We're icing. Puck to the left of bar as Sammy Ruiz comes in for it. Played out to center ice. Goes the length of the ice. No icing though, for some odd reason. Zick plays it over to, who's that? Blake Schrader. Weiner tries to race down the boards. He's slowed up there. Still battles for it in the corner. Sends it back behind the net. Jensen Hill can't quite get there. Mason City controls it. Medlin thrown into the boards by Sammy Ruiz. Works back behind the goal line. Sends it back to Landon Schultz. Sends a rainbow shot over the net. Weiner through the net, through the middle. Schultz back through the middle. Wrapped around behind the net. Weiner battles it back. Sends it back to Schultz. Schultz from the blue line back down to Weiner. Mason City will work it back out. Up into the stands. Puck's down. Played all the way back. Schultz back to get it. Hard hitting to the end wall. Thrown out to the slot. Carney with a save. A shot. Saved by Shell. Wrapped around. Knocked down there. They'll throw it back out in the middle. Cleared out by Schultz. Henkel gets it head to Sheehy. Sheehy rushes it down the ice. He's got Henkel with him in the middle. Hits the brakes on the board. Centering pass. Knocked away. Oh. Got it over to Heacock. Heacock tried to get it back to Sheehy. Couldn't quite make it happen. Sent in the zone. It's Liam Henry now. Up the boards to Jackson Heacock. Gets it over to Alex Henkel. Streaking down the side. Shot. Saved by Barr. He's a big guy. I have said that before. Sheehy to the dot. Puck's down. Sheehy gets it on net. Almost on net. Now back up the boards. Sheehy knocks it back down to Heacock in the corner. They'll try and play it back up. She kicks it down, former soccer player. Sent on net. Just wide. Kick back to Liam Henry at the blue line. His shot's blocked. Ricochets over to Honors Hill. He'll dump it in the zone. Saints tag back up. Long stretch pass out to center ice. They'll try and chip it around Honors. Nice play by Honors Hill in the corner. He'll play it up ahead to Jackson Heacock. He's got Sammy Ruiz out in front of him. Tags it up there. 2-on-2 the other way. Sammy Ruiz to the corner. Hits the brakes. Takes a big hit. Gets it down to Jackson Heacock in the middle, though. Heacock tries to throw it in front. Blocked by Sammy. Quentin Peterson now wheels it back behind the net. Drops it off there. Mason City long stretch pass to Blake Schrader. Backhanded into the zone. Landon Schultz back to get it. 1:17 to go in the period. That's Kate Weiner. Similar build, completely different playing styles. Zick sends it into the zone. Sammy tags up. Weiner and Hill forecheck. We'll just around.
1 minute remaining in the period.
Zick now battles for it behind the goal line. He's got Sammy there to help him out. Mason City tries to take it away. Squirts out. Shell will cover it on the side.
The green light flashes with the flag go up. Churning and burning, they yearn for the cup. They definitely run for a muscle parade. Even burning fast on an empty tank. Reckless and wild, they pour through the curve. Their balances move and secretly stir as they speed through the finish.
Sammy Ruiz into the draw.
And then get out of town. The arena is empty.
Puck's down. Mohawks try and send it towards the net. Landon Schultz picks it up there. Hard off the boards, gets it to Jensen Hill. Mason City sends it into the back of the ref. They never like that. All the way back behind the net. Shell tees it up there for Sammy. Sammy will work it out center ice. Weaves it off to the far side. Gets it up to Jensen. Gets just enough of it for Cade Weiner to run it down. Walks it down to the goal line. Throws it out in front. Just too hot for Jensen Hill to handle. Back behind the net. Weiner's got it there. Works it back up the boards. Ooh, lost an edge there. Jensen Hill back to his feet. 10 seconds in the period. Weiner battles for it on the end line. Got to get someone in front. Got to get someone in front. Got to get the puck in front. That'll do it for the first period. Shots on goal, 8 apiece.
At the end of the first period, the score is
still 0-0.
Shots on goal.
Scores from around the league. It was the JV Saints over the Mason City Mohawks, 6-0. Puck's down and we're underway. Played back into the zone. Jensen Hill sends it all the way down to the corner. Cade Weiner spins it out there. Plays it up to the boards. Dumped in. Tipped wide in front of the net. Mason City picks it up. Throws it out to center ice. Ben Zick gets it out to center ice now. Right out to the far side. Taken away. Zick sends it over. Jensen Hill works it up the ice. Into the attacking zone. Drops it off for Sammy. Back to Jensen. Back behind the net now. Mason City works it up. Chips it all the way out. Liam Henry back to get it. Fires it off the far boards. Picked up by Mason City, and they'll send it in. Shell knocks it down. Gets it over to Liam Henry. Henry over to Schultz. Schultz off the boards. Up ahead to Alex Henkel. Drives right down the middle. Shot. Saved by Parr. They'll play it off the boards. Off the far side. It's Cervantes. Takes it into the zone. Can't connect with Medlin. Henkel sends it out of the zone. Sheehy battles for it there. Now Sheehy tries to get it up. Works it through center ice. In the attacking zone. Works around one into the slot. Backhand shot. Goal! Xander Sheehy puts the Saints on the board. 1-0. Got a nice feed from, I believe it was Alex Henkel there in front of the Mohawk bench. Sheehy back to the dot, sends it into the zone, all the way back to the corners. Back beyond the nets, played up the near side. Henkel battles for it there.
15-26 in the
Sonny rushes it up, finds a spot in the middle, loose puck, Sabantas safely did it on that. Knocked loose on the far side. Sheehy again tries to chip it off the boards, took a bad angle. Quentin Peterson's got it, sends it back into the zone. High stick on Schrader. Played back around to the near side. Peterson dumps it down to the corner. Sent on net, chipped wide. Zick's got it, battles for it right behind the net now. Sends it out to the far corner. Walks around Heacock, now sent back to the point. Lane Hansen's back there. Dumps it back down the boards. Sent through the middle. Henkel gets a piece of it. Now back. Now Heacock's got it. Sends an aerial pass up to Sheehy. Knocked off the puck there. Quentin Peterson spins it out. Chipped into the zone. Michael Poles is on the run. Mason City plays it off to the boards. Alex Henkel with a big hit. Randall dumps it into the corner. Michael Poles back to get it. Hansen plays it around him. Back behind the net. Mason City goes. Sent back to the far corner. Played out to the far side. Anders Hill plays it up ahead. Tyler Randall can't quite get it in the zone. Now dumps it all the way in. Chases the puck down to the corner. Hansen's got it there. Plays it up the boards. Knocked down by Poles. Mason City works it in. Dumps it back there. Peterson, long pass. Knocked down by Poles. 3-on-2 the other way. Pulls a shot. Saved by Jacob Barr. Now kick to the side. Michael Poles cross-check from behind and ridden like a Bronco. Jackson County Fair. No call. Sammy Ruiz, Cade Weiner, Jensen Hill step onto the ice. They're backed by Cooper Smith, Landon Schultz. Sammy Ruiz into the dot. He wins it. Mason City controls, though. Held in at the blue line by Schultz. Now Mason City sends it out. Back to Schultz at the red. He chips it ahead. Jensen Hill can't quite get it. Weiner plays it back to Schultz. Plays it over to Smith. Ahead to Ruiz, who sends it into the zone. Jensen Hill, full pressure. Weiner shot. Just wide of the net. Comes out to the far side. Works his way across from the boards. Drops it down to Jensen. Throwing out in front. Nobody home on the backside, and Mason City will lift it out. Bouncing puck will go the length of the ice for icing. We'll get Heacock and Henkel out with Sheehy. Zick and Schrader back on defense. Sheehy to the dot. Wins it back to Henkel. Henkel shot. Saved by Barr. Cervantes, Hindermeister, and Carey jump out for Mason City. Sheehy back to the dot. He's got Schrader behind him. Wins it back to Schrader. Schrader dumps it to the corner. Sheehy sends it behind the net to Heacock. Heacock works it to the far corner. Big hit there. Played back to Heacock in the corner. Tries to flip it out in front. Puck's knocked away. Now played to the near side. Mason City plays it up the boards. Taken away there by Sheehy. Loses it and works it back down the boards. Mason City forces it back out to neutral ice. Nice play by Blake Schrader to knock it away. Blocked away by Ben Zick. Mason City will try and dump it back in. Still offside. Zick's got it. His own face-off dot. Played to Heacock. Peacock will work it across to the near side, dumps it into the zone, and he'll chase his own dump. He'll be the first to get it behind the net. Works for it in the far corner. Henkel works it free. Tries to get it back. Liam Henry now. Peacock turns and fires. Barr holds on to his rebound. $11:54 to go in the second period. Saints are up 1-0. Shots on goal favor the Saints 15-9. Tyler Randall bellies up to the dot. Tries to win it back. Liam Henry dumps it back down to the corner. Eli Schwartz to chase it on the end wall. Pins the man there. Knocks him off the puck, and Michael Pohl swoops in to try and knock it free. Back down the boards. Mason City chips it out. Otters Hill holds it at the blue. Ooh, big hit there. That's going to get you a penalty. Interference is the call. Anders will spend 2 minutes thinking about his transgressions. Big brother Jensen comes out to kill the penalty with Cade Weiner. They'll be joined by Liam Henry, Sammy Ruiz. Puck's down. Weiner's got it. Dumps it on net. Lane Hansen back to get it from Mason City. He's got it back behind the net.
Second, number 21, Anders Hill for interference.
Big cross there by Mason City. They'll dump it into the zone. Jumps over the stick of Shell. Liam Henry battles for it in the corner. Weiner back to get it. Plays it off the end wall. Caroms over to the near side where Jensen Hill battles for it. Now back to Liam Henry on the far side. Hard off the glass. Kicked down by Mason City. Weiner takes it. Sends it the length. Played up the near side. Nice fake. Fire sends it in. Takes a weird bounce. Sammy Ruiz sends it to length. Jacob Barr with a nice save. Lane Hansen will wind it up from behind his own net. Jackson Heacock making life difficult for the Mohawks power play. Up the near side they come. Fire hits the brakes just inside the blue line. Sends it cross ice to Hindermeister. Back to Lane Hansen, top of the circle. Shot up into the netting. Puck's battled on the far boards. It's fed back to Peterson at the blue line. Now sent to the far boards. Cross ice pass over to Hindermeister. Back to Peterson. They'll feed it to Hindermeister on the short side. Blocked in front by Heacock. Sends it out. Sheehy on the breakaway. Saved by Barr. Into the netting. Tried to turn the camera quick enough to get Sheehy. Couldn't do it. Just too fast. Jensen Hill in for the faceoff. That's what. Yeah, that's not going to work. Mason City sent a player late. Someone needs to make sure there's 5 guys on the ice before we drop the puck. That someone is you, Ethan Fox, with the puck. Jensen Hill for the faceoff. Puck's down. They'll knock it back out to center ice. Cade Weiner dumps it back into the zone. We'll get Anders Hill back here in 10 seconds. Long cross ice pass. Thomas Medlin's got it. Sends it cross ice. Shot saved by Andy Shell. Kick to the corner.
Saints. Oh, strike.
Head back to Quentin Peterson. His shot blocked in by Cade Weiner. Jensen Hill. Oh, tries to get it up to Sammy Ruiz. Mohawks make life difficult like they're supposed to. Icing. One of the weirder icing calls I've seen tonight. 9:16 left to go in the second period. Shots on goal favor the Saints, 16-10. Ruiz, Weiner, and Hill out, backed by Cooper Smith. Clinton and Schultz on the far side. Puck's played back to Smith on the blue line. Sends it across to Schultz. Schultz will play it into the zone. Weiner tags up. Now all the way back to Schultz. He'll put it in drive. Chips it off the boards into the zone. Back behind the Mohawks net. He'll send her on the far side. Schultz has got it there. Top of the circle. Fires it on net. Barr with the save. Oh, Weiner tried to wrap around. Couldn't quite get it. Thrown out now. Henkel sends it towards the net. And Barr picks it out of the air. We'll get Sheehy, Henkel, and Heacock out. They're backed by Schrader and Zick. Sheehy to the dot, gets it back to Henkel. Fired on by Zick. Held on by Barr. Face-off will move to the left of Barr. Heacock lines up behind Sheehy. Sheehy wins it forward towards the net. Can't quite get there. Beslin sends it up the far side. Henkel's there to take it away. Heacock comes over, sends it back to Ben Zick at the blue line. On net, down to Henkel. Now it's played back to Blake Schrader. Schrader sends it over to Zick. Zick down low. Jackson Heacock takes it away temporarily. It's a race back. Ooh, nice hit by Henkel. He's got it. Looks for Jackson on the far side. Sends it over. Jackson gloves it down. Drives to the corner. Hits the brakes. Feeds it down low to Sheehy. Takes a big hit there. Mason City out the near side. Ooh, big hit by Henkel. Saying second line. Playing a little demo derby out there. Wrapped up. Held in by Blake Schrader. Kicks it down low. Sheehy on the goal line. Sends it out in front. Goal for Jackson Heacock! And it's 2-0 in favor of the Saints. 7:33 left to go in the second period. Where were these guys last night? Tyler Randall into the draw. Wins it back. Anders Hill races to pull it off the board. Cross ice pass over to William Henry. He'll send it up to
38.
Michael Pohl.
Jackson Heacock. Assisted by number 34, Sanders Sheehy.
Face off to come just outside the Saints zone on the hand pass call. Tyler Randall bellies up to the dot. Bucks down, controlled by the Saints. Anders gets it up to Michael. Battle along the boards. Michael throws all 73 pounds around. That's interference. Mohawks have it. Bedlam carries it across the blue line. Fumbles off his stick and comes back to center ice. Dumped in by Carney. Anders Hill has it. On the near boards. It's still battles for it. Knocked away. Carney's got it. Randall plays it back to the blue line. Lane Hansen sends it across. Shot. Blocked in front by Tyler Randall. Randall gets it ahead to Michael Pols. Can't quite track it down. Mason City all the way back to their blue line. Sends it up now. They'll dump it into the zone. Anders back to get it. Spins it up the boards. Now it's Eli Schwartz into the attacking zone. He's got Sammy Ruiz in the middle, all the way down to the corner. Eli sends it through the middle. Nobody home. Mason City races it up in front of the boards. And Schultz has it. Works it up the middle. Walks around one. Plays it ahead to Jensen Hill. Gets into the zone. Gets to Sammy Ruiz. Fires high and wide. Wraps around to the far side. Mason City off to the races. Cooper Smith back to cover, though. Dumped into the zone. Smith has it behind the net. He's knocked off the puck. Sammy Ruiz comes in to help out. Long cross-ice pass. Can't connect with Cade Weiner. He'll dump it back. Landon Schultz. Over Cooper Smith. Ahead to Jensen Hill. Jensen flies it off the boards. Back to Cooper. Sends it ahead. Cade Weiner drops off for Sammy Ruiz. Sammy carries in the zone. Fires wide at Jacob Barr, but it's Landon Schultz on the far side. Plays it behind the net to Cade Weiner. It's knocked off his stick. Sammy Ruiz battles for it in the corner. Comes up the near boards. Mason City sends it out to center ice. Cooper Smith in his own defensive zone. Wheels it back up the middle. Back to Smith in his own defensive zone. He'll play it ahead. Henkel can't quite handle it. It's Bieber in. 2-on-1 the other way. Nice back check. Oh, high stick. Oh, Meyer gets the goal. And it's 2-1. Henkel made a heck of an effort to get back and go, but couldn't get enough of it to stop the goal. So 2-1 now with 5 minutes left to go in the second period. Shots on goal favor the Saints, 19-11.
Mohawks goal scored 4:59 second by number 2, Avery Meyer.
Sheehy wins it forward. Mohawks take it away. Played into the defensive zone. Schrader back to get it. Drops off for Henkel. Henkel leaves it for Schrader. Schrader works it up the boards. Skates it to the far side. Hits the brakes. Drops off for Ben Zick. Ben Zick now up the boards to Sheehy. Hooked the whole way. Played out to center ice. Dump back into the zone. Behind the net of Shell. Blake Schrader picks it up there. And the net's off. Is that Hindermeister? Blue wheel? Oh, Cervantes. Oh, they're using the little pegs. Sheehy to the dot. Mohawks win it. They'll dump it into the zone. All the way back to the far side. Ben Zick into the end wall. Got a pin there. It's going to be 4 minutes, Ben. That's a long time. Sheehy races it up the far side. Finds some space on the far side. Gets back up. Back behind the net. Loses it there. Peacock there to help out. Mohawks have it. They'll try and play it up the near boards. Blake Schrader holds it in temporarily. Now it's Hindermeister. Races it into his own zone. Knocked away by Schrader. Back to Henkel. Henkel sends it through the air. High stick. High stick. Saints will send out Liam Henry and Connor Hill going to stay out there. He is. And we'll get Weiner, Ruiz, and Hill. Sammy into the draw, wins it back to Honors. Honors dumps it down the boards. Weiner in the corner. Sends it back to Honors Hill at the blue line. He gets it over to Liam Henry. Top of the circles, fires it in. Saved by Barr. Hold on for a whistle. Sammy Ruiz to the dot now, to the left of Barr. Mason City controls. Lanky Quentin Peterson takes it up, dumps it into the zone, back behind Shell. Beaver's the first one there, sends it around the far side, back to Peterson at the blue line. Down the far boards, sent back behind the net. It's Bieber. Tries to throw it out in front, it's taken away. Liam Henry trying to get it to Cade Weiner, can't do it. Mohawks in a quick change. Fired it up into the netting for a whistle. 3:06 left to go in the second period. Saints will send out Heacock, Zick, Schultz, Sheehy, Henkel. Sheehy to the dot. He wins it forward. Mason City controls, back up the boards now. Sheehy chips it around one. He's got Henkel in the middle. Sheehy down the far side, gets over to Henkel, goal! Alex Henkel puts one away. That's what we like to see. Pass the puck, everyone wins. Alex Henkel puts the Saints up 3-1 with 2:57 left to go in the second period. Sheehy back to the dot. Wins it forward. Schultz dumps it into the zone. Heacock on his horse to get in the corner.
7 in the second.
Played off the far side. Cervantes has on the board.
Alex Henkel. Assisted by number 34, Xander Steen.
Mason City will dump it into the near corner. Shell pokes it away. And Schultz there to get it. They'll walk around him down to the goal line. Walk out to the far side. Throwing back to Medlin at the blue line. He'll dump it on net. Hit Shell. Didn't see it coming. See, he clears it out. For icing. 2:18 to go in the second period. Shots are 21-12 in favor of the Mohawks. Tyler Randall will come to the dot. He's up there with Poles and Schwartz. Puck's down on the far boards. Randall picks it up there. Takes it back behind his own net. Now off the boards. Mason City takes it away. Eli Schwartz pins him up there. Down the boards, Mason City down to the corner. Taken away by Randall in the slot. Schwartz forces it out to the blue line. Dumped back in by Mason City. Centering pass. Poked away by Anders Hill. Randall's got it now in the near boards. Gets it ahead to Michael Pohl. Sends it into the zone. Laid back. Ben Zick flips it up. Randall sends it into the zone. Schwartz chases it down. Mason City will spin. Throws it into Randall along the slot. Shot. Saved by Barr. Mason City around the boards. Liam Henry can't quite hold it in. Go the length of the ice for icing. Jensen Hill, Sammy Ruiz, Ben Zick jump out on the ice. That's not a line. Cade Weiner's already out there, and so's Landon Schultz. Medlin's got it, plays it back behind his net. Weiner chases it down. Cervantes sends it back to the D. Now back to the corner. Weiner in the corner. Chips out front to Sammy. Fires just wide. Loose. Still bouncing. Back to Schultz at the blue line. Dumps it in the corner. Weiner's there.
1 minute.
Weiner now. High slot. Shot. Saved by Barr. Straight up in the air. Goal! That was in. You're terrible. Play the puck then. What's the... Oh, high stick. Oh, there's the whistle. Took you a couple seconds. Sammy Ruiz is headed to the box. I think they called him a 10-minute misconduct. Oh, just giving Sammy a 2-minute penalty. Ref's going to come over and talk to Austin. So 56 seconds left in the second period.
Saints penalty, 56 seconds left in the second period on number 13. Sammy Ruiz with unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike
That
conduct.
puts us on a Southwest Health penalty kill.
We get Jensen Hill, Cade Weiner out to kill the penalty. He'll be backed by Ben Zick, Landon Schultz. Austin doesn't agree with the call. Jensen Hill to the dot for the faceoff. Won by Mason City. Lane Hansen's got it at the blue line. Sends it to the far side. Through the middle. Nice play by Landon Schultz to tie up the man. Sent to the far corner. Now back behind the net. Up the far side again. They'll play a little catch over there. Cade Weiner holds him in. Tries to tie it up. Back to the blue line. Now back on the boards. Fire tries to send it across. Bouncing puck. Jensen Hill sends it the length with just 23 seconds left. Fire tries to stop it behind the net. Cade Weiner making life difficult for the Mason City power play. It's 1-on-4. Cade Weiner don't care. Long cross-ice pass, 8 seconds left. Jensen will play it back to Landon. Landon will hide behind the net. Nothing. The Warriors taking it to the Blues, 6-1. Sheehy and Heacock got to kill the penalty. Sheehy wins the draw, back to Henry. He'll chase it all the way back to the corner. Sends it bouncing out to center ice. Lane Hansen plays it out the far side. Mohawks work it into the zone. Cross ice pass. A little hot to handle there. Hansen shot, saved by Shell. Holds on for a whistle. Puck's down. Sheehy wins it forward. Hansen knocks it down the boards. Works it all the way down to the goal line. Throws it out in front, all the way back to Hindermeister at the blue line. Shot through, deflected by Heacock. Mohawks will wrap it around. Medlin's shot, fired high and wide. Carroll's back to Hansen at the blue line. He'll play it off the boards. Fired down to the corner. Schultz knocks him off the puck there. Mohawks work it down, send it around the back of the net. Oh. Sent out. Just outside the zone. Mohawks will play it back to their own defensive zone. 4 seconds left on the penalty. Hindermeister sends it through into the attacking zone. Shot high over the net. Schultz has it. Backhands it out to the blue line. Hansen sends it back in. Peacock sends it the length of the ice. Hindermeister gets a piece of it. No icing. Sammy Ruiz all the way into the end. Chases him down. Battles for it in the corner. Mohawks get back behind the net. Sent back to the far corner. Cade Weiner steps in. Kicks it out in front. Backhanded puck. Oh, still loose in the slot. Now the Mohawks have it. They'll carry it out the far side. Controlled by Ben Zick. Plays it just a little hot to handle for Cade Weiner. Mason City back in their own defensive end. Spins it out of the zone. Weiner's got it just short of the blue line. Dumps it in. Back behind the net. Jensen Hill goes into pressure. Mason City goes D to D behind the net. Now it's Weiner in the far corner applying a little pressure. Set up the far side. Held in by Hill. Sends it on net. Oh, Barr didn't see it coming. Got directed right into his stick. Byer the other way. Dumps it into the zone. Jumps over Shell's stick behind the net. Ben Zick to get it in the corner. He's ridden off the puck. Sent back behind the net. Anders Hill now. Plays it up the near side to Zick. Zick plays it up the boards. Held in by Quentin Peterson. His shot deflected. Zick now from the goal line. Back behind the net. Out the near side to Weiner. Weiner gets it to the blue line. Not happy with his performance there. Sent wide of the net. Weiner again on the near side. Now he sends it the length of the ice. Wide of Barr for icing. Puck's down. Played back to the corner. Schultz wraps it around the near boards. Held it at the blue line. Peacock gets it ahead. Sheehy and Henkel, 2-on-1 the other way. Henkel's shot blocked by Peterson. High stick, played by the Mohawks. They'll race it out. Cooper Smith drives him wide. Peterson tries to center it. All the way back to the blue line. Knocked down. Just inside the zone. Schultz has it in the corner, works it back behind the net. Brings it out, right down the middle. Now off to the side, knocked down. Schultz has it. Across the red line. Fires it on net, saved by Barr. Tries to get his own rebound. Michael Poles now just inside the blue line. Doesn't get quite enough of that. Tries to throw a big shoulder. Going to need to grow some big shoulders to throw him. Now it's Henkel on the far side. Back behind the net. Off the boards, back to Henry. Fires it back around the boards. He'll get Poles on the far side. Takes a big hit there for Quentin Peterson. It's in the skates of Randall, didn't know it. Schwartz in the far corner, sends it around the back of the net. Randall will pull it off the boards there. Liam Henry shot. Knocked down, Schwartz in front. Cervantes will carry it out the far side. Meister sends it into the zone. Shell directing traffic, gets Henry to the corner. It's battled on the goal line. Sent back behind the net. Saints have 3 players back there. That's usually not a great thing. Now it's Schwartz. Out the far side, dumps it in. Back behind the net, a Barr. Nation City will play it to the far corner. Knocked by the referee, back to the near side. Nation City will try it again. Referee lets this one go through. Thanks. Weiner knocks it away, though. Now it's Sammy Ruiz. Knocks it down to Cade Weiner behind the net. Weiner walks behind the goal. Comes out the near side. Circles to the slot. Chips it over to Anders. Anders walks out in the front. Shot. Oh. No one knew where it was, including me. Liam Henry dropped past Weiner. Weiner sends it over to Anders. Anders dumps it in. Weiner wrestles to get it. He's got Sammy out in front. Now Sammy walks it out. Rolls off his stick to the corner. He'll spin at the blue line. Shot fired. Wide of the net. Gets his own rebound. Throws it on net. Tipped by Jensen. He'll work it back to the far side. Nation City's got it. They'll send it out. 2-on-1 the other way. Saved by Shell. Zick plays it ahead to Jensen. Sammy Ruiz plays it up ahead. Cade Weiner 1-on-2. 1-on-3. Skated the length of the ice and cross-checked him. Just a cross-checking, though. 11 minutes left. The Saints up 3-1 and about to go on a power play. Puck's down. Schultz bounces off him and goes wide.
Mohawks penalty at 11.
Played ahead to Heacock. Heacock through center ice. Into the attacking zone. It's the brakes. Big hit into the boards.
Cross-checking, which puts the Saints on a
Puts it over to Schultz.
Power
Schultz inside the blue line. Plays it over to Anders. Anders from the top of the circle. Shot. Glove down by Barr.
Step up in the building, fight our own point, right? We'll just see around because it's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a long fight, but then again, maybe not.
Puck's down. Anders gets it over to Landon Schultz from the blue line. Down low to Jackson Heacock. Centering pass blocked there. The Mohawks will clear it out. Anders races back to get it. And we get a whistle behind the play. Holding will be the call. Mohawks will send another one to the box, so we'll be 5-on-3. They're probably not the 5 guys you want to go 5-on-3 against. But we'll get Jensen Hill, Cade Weiner, Sammy Ruiz, Xander Sheehy, Alex Henkel. Ruiz to the dot, wins it back to Henkel. Henkel gets it over Sheehy, top of the
Mohawks
circle.
penalty, 10-12.
Backhanded pass to nobody.
Number 2, Avery Byer for holding.
Shell stops it there. Sheehy picks it up on the goal line. Works it back behind the net.
Doghouse and daily grind.
Hits the gas through center ice into the attacking zone. Works it all the way down to the corner, back behind the net. Looks for someone on the blue line. Dumps it down to Henkel in the corner. Henkel back behind the net. Works out to the goal line. Gives off for Jensen Hill. Jensen Hill from the top of the circles. Drops it off for Sheehy. Sheehy tries to play it back. Mohawks get it. Send it going to the ice. Shell stops it behind the net. Now it's Weiner. Full head of speed. Brings it up in front of the benches. Into the attacking zone. Hits the brakes just inside the blue line. Sends it over to Sammy Ruiz. Ruiz walks it down to the faceoff dot. Drops off for Weiner. Gets to Sheehy. Sheehy turns. Passes over. Nobody there. Weiner drops down to Henkel. Jensen Hill all alone in front. Hits the side of the net. Sheehy hits Hill. Back behind the net. Still loose. Still loose. Still loose. Now still loose. Henkel knocks it around to Sheehy on the boards. Sheehy's got it down the goal line. Walks to the front. Throws it back to Henkel. Ruiz shot. Saved by Barr. We'll get Schwartz. Peacock pulls out. 30 seconds left on the second penalty. Gets it back to Schultz at the blue line. He tries to feed it down to Heacock. Mason City takes it away. Works it back behind the net. Heacock chases it down. Knocks the puck loose. Now it's Schwartz. Mason City go D-to-D behind the net. Lane Hansen, all kinds of time, sends it the length of the ice. Just some 10 seconds left in the power play. Landon Schultz works it out. Skates around 2.
Mohawks, full strength.
Full head of steam into the zone. Sends it through the slot. Nobody home. Jackson Heacock sends it back down the boards. Michael Bowles pesters Quentin Peterson. Fires, dumps it into the zone. They'll go D-to-D. Anders Hill now on the near side. Plays it ahead to Michael Bowles. Bowles tries to battle it back down the boards. Spread back out to the blue line. Peterson dumps it in. Anders Hill races to get it. Andy Schell leaves it there. Anders spins away from one behind the net. Plays it out to Schwartz on the far side. He'll get it ahead to Cade Weiner. Weiner inside the blue line. Dumps it in. Randall now tries to center it. Still battles for it in the corner. Peterson knocks it off to Weiner. Peterson sends it around to the far side. Blake Schrader over to get it. Holds it in just at the blue line. Dumps it back down to the corner. Then Zick fires it into Sammy Ruiz's skates. Comes back to the blue line. Jensen Hill's got it there. He'll wheel it up the ice. Plays it ahead to Sammy, who knocks it into the zone. Still in his skates. Gets it over to Cade. Back to the blue line. It's Blake Schrader over to Ben Zick. Zick dumps it towards the net. Fired around the boards. Saints will tag up. Mason City tries to break it out. On the far side, they'll walk it into the zone. Shot. Saved by Shell. Loose in front. Goal. Caught the Saints on a long shift. And it's 3-2. Saints holding on to a 1-goal lead. Peacock, Sheehy, and Henkel will come out. They'll be backed by Henry and Anders Hill. Sheehy to the dot. Wins it forward. Anders has it on his own blue line. High off the glass.
Mason City Mohawks goal
Into the defensive zone.
In the third by number 6.
Mason City cross ice pass, or Anders Hill cross ice pass.
Ellen Cervantes.
Heacock couldn't quite steal it away. Henkel on the attack. Mason City will dump it into the zone. Shell plays it to the corner. Gets away from Anders Hill. Sent behind the net. Mason City now back to the blue line. Tipped in front by Sheehy. Carney plays it up the board. Shot. Saved by Shell. Catches the netting and will get a whistle. 5:50 left in the third. Riders now up 4-1 on the Metros. Warriors 7-1 against the Blues. Sammy Ruiz to the dot. Gets it back to Cooper Smith. Smith plays it ahead to Jensen Hill. Jensen works it up the ice into the attacking zone, all the way down to the goal line. Works around behind the net. Tops of the circles. Fires it over to Sammy Ruiz. Can't quite get the shot off. Back to Jensen Hill in the slot. Fired just wide of the net. Played back to the point. Schultz fires it into Sammy's chest. Held in by Weiner on the blue line. Works around one. Tops of the circles. Shot. Saved by Barr. Kicked off the back wall. Peterson's got it there. It's knocked off by Henkel. No trip. Bad angle shot. Henkel makes it hit some post. Fired around back behind the net. Mason City will send it out the far side for icing. 4:52 now. Shots on goal favor the Saints, 28-17. Sheehy to the dot. He's out there with Heacock and Henkel. Runs it back to Henkel. Henkel shot. Saved by Barr. Sheehy back to the dot. There goes Sheehy's stick. He was looking at it before the play. I was afraid it might go. Mason City out through the center ice. Played in. Shell will stop it there. Played down low. Out through center ice now. Mason City back to get it in their own defensive zone. Wrapped around behind the net. Wayne Hansen sends it to the far side. Stopped by Anders Hill. They play it ahead. Sammy Ruiz has it now. Carries it into the zone. Dump back below the goal line. Around to the near side. Bedlam plays it back behind the net. Long stretch pass from Mason City. On net of Andy Shell. He'll cover for a whistle. Mason City wins the draw, sends it out of the zone. 2-on-1 or 2-on-2 the other way. Can't capitalize on it. Now Sammy Ruiz picks up the red line. He'll rush it into the zone. Knocked it down the boards. Played back to Liam Henry. Henry dumps it into Cade Weiner. Alex Henkel battles for it in the corner. Mason City will wrap it around back behind the net. Liam Henry takes a big hit along the boards. Mason City will race it out. Shell knocks it to the corner. Back behind the net. Weiner back to get it. He battles for it there. Weiner out up the boards to Henkel. Henkel sends it out through center ice. Rolling puck's going to go. It did. It's got to get there first, Fox. Don't blow the whistle when it's 5 feet short of it. Sheehy to the dot. Saints win the draw. Played back to Zick behind the net. Out the far side. Mason City holds it in at the blue line. He knocks it out. Dumped into the far corner. Anders Hill back to get it. He'll send it out the far side. Mason City holds it in. Taken away by Sheehy at center. He'll work it out through the middle. 1-on-4. Gets it inside the blue line. Dumps it on net. It's deflected wide. Peacock will battle for it on the near boards. Knocked away by Mason City. Ben Zick plays it over to Sheehy. Knocked down the far boards. .209 left to go in the third period. Sammy Ruiz in for the draw. Puck's down to the near boards. Medlin plays it back over the head of Zick, into the board, into the net, into the bench. Ruiz to the dot again. Gets it over to Anders Hill. Anders shot from the top of the circle, high. Karam's off the glass. Mason City will throw it back to Anders at the red line. High off the glass again, into the zone. Knocked down by Cade. Mason City takes it away. They try and play it out to center ice. Knocked away by Sammy. He'll backhand it in. Played back behind the net. Still 1:30 to go in the game. Played out the far side. Sammy's got it just outside the blue line. Dumps off for Jensen. Jensen sends it in. Barr with the save. Kicks it to the corner. Lane Hansen plays it back behind the net. Just out of the reach of Cade Weiner. Mason City reverses it back. Sent the length of the ice. William Henry gets it high off the glass. Henkel battles for it there. Alex Henkel up through the middle. Played off to the far side. Sheehy back on the ice, takes it back behind his own net. Spins it out to the far side. Schultz higher out the glass. Bouncing puck up ahead to Heacock. Heacock sends it to the middle. Medlin spins it back behind his own net. Played out to the far side. There goes Barr. Far side. Gets it over to Schultz. Schultz high off the board. Gets it over to Henkel. Henkel sends it in the zone. Peacock applies a little pressure. 6-on-5. You guys might want to move with 9 seconds left. Played up the near boards. Into the zone. Anders Hill back behind the net. Sends it around the far side. That'll do it. Final from Dubuque, 3-2.
final score.
Shots on goal wrap up at 30-17 in favor of the Saints. We'll see you back tomorrow night, early game time for senior night against the Waterloo Warriors.
Thank you for coming, everybody.
I'm Neil and Mary's grandson, saying if you can find a friend,